Jason Chaffetz, welcome back here to America's Newsroom. Here is what the president said about the fight against ISIS just 48 hours ago. Watch here.
We now have proposals from the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States to bar all Muslims from emigrating to America. Where does this stop? Do Republican officials actually agree with this? Because that's not the America we want.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think the president's got to stop campaigning and actually be the commander-in-chief. We've got to define the enemy as Islamic extremists. We've got to take the fight to the enemy. The president needs to develop a strategy, which he has not done. The only thing I've heard concrete that he wants to do is close Gitmo and put people back onto the battlefield, and that's not going to win the war that we have with ISIS. The president's got to focus, develop a strategy, and defeat the enemy.
This is what he said on that same statement. He said that their mission is to destroy ISIS. He said it's firing on all cylinders, and ISIS is losing money and they're losing ground and recruits.
I defy I have anybody try to come on your program, Bill, and define exactly what the president's strategy is, because we desperately need one as a nation. We need to define that enemy. We got to get rid of this political correctness and actually go and defeat and win this war.
He would argue that Republicans are in the way, perhaps based on policy.
When you have the President of the United States uttering the words Twitter, you know that the Commander-in-Chief is off message. We have got to get united. We want to defeat this enemy, but the President is not putting forward a strategy to do so.
I think you said the other day he doesn't have the fire in the belly.
The fire in the belly is when he's focused.
That's a pretty strong charge.
Just listen to the way he says it. When he starts talking about Donald Trump, when he starts talking about Republicans, you can see he gets real fired up. But when he can't even utter the words Islamic extremist, then, you know, it's a whole different change of tune. And he gets passionate about closing Guantanamo. Really, Mr. President, you think that's going to solve the problem?
No.
I disagree.
There was a hearing yesterday. You took a vote on the IRS Commissioner, John Koskinen. This is something you've been on for years. What is the status of that story today?
Well, we did pass out of the Oversight Committee a censure of the IRS Commissioner, Mr. Koskinen. We believe he should be resigned. If not, he should be fired. And we believe, as a sense of Congress, that he should lose his pension along the way. You can't come to Congress, provide false testimony. You can't come to Congress and tell us that you're taking care of this situation at the IRS and not follow through on that. And you certainly, when you have a subpoena, you have to follow through on that subpoena. It's not an optional exercise. So he needs to go if the IRS is going to get back on track.
You want him to resign. I don't think that's going to happen. You want him censured? Will that happen in the House?
I'm trying every tool I've got in my repertoire. I'm trying to do the censure. I believe in impeachment next week in Judiciary. We have another hearing about impeaching the IRS Commissioner. But the President promised he would work hand in hand with Congress to solve this problem. It is not. They were targeted Americans, and this person, Mr. Koskinen, came to Congress. He provided false testimony, and when he had a duly issued subpoena, he did not fulfill it. They destroyed documents.
Well, they could run out the clock on this, right? I mean, you've got 7 months right now, and if you get to January of next year, does this story just wither away?
No, because the IRS Commissioner continues on. When President Obama leaves, the IRS Commissioner is still there because he was confirmed all the way through the end of 2017.
Jason Chaffetz, thank you. The vote yesterday, and we'll see what happens now. Thank you for your time there. Live on